Have you ever just stopped and wondered what our world would look like if technology and spirituality weren't always at odds? I mean, what if they were two sides of the same coin? Imagine a future built not on mining the earth, but on cultivating the mind. Well, strap in, because someone actually wrote a constitution for it.
This one line right here, it's the foundation for this entire wild idea. The Techno-Spiritual Manifesto basically says, let's reorganize everything, our laws, our economy, our whole society, around a single core principle, that human consciousness isn't just some accident of biology. No, it's our most precious and most renewable resource.
So, for the next few minutes, I want you to think of this as your personal guided tour. We're going to walk through the blueprint of this potential world and explore what it would actually feel like to live, work, and think in a society built on the power of the mind. All right, first stop on our tour, the big stuff, the fundamentals. We're talking about the new laws and systems that would shape your day-to-day reality in this techno-spiritual world, the rules that would govern your own mind.
Before we dive in, just pause and think about that for a second. If your consciousness, your mind, is the most valuable thing in existence, what rights would you even need to protect it? It's a huge question, right? Well, this Constitution has some very specific answers. So here they are, the three big ones. Think of them as the pillars that protect your mind. First, you've got the right to expansion. Basically, you have the right to access technology that helps you think better, faster, deeper. But that's kind of scary without the second one, the right to integrity. This is your firewall. It guarantees that no one can mess with your mind or alter your consciousness without your explicit consent, period. And then, balancing it all out is the right to silence. That's your off switch, your right to just be, free from any tech, any stimulation, the ultimate freedom.
Okay, so how does a society like this make the big, messy decisions? Well, it's a radical departure from what we have now. Forget the partisan shouting matches. Instead, picture leaders gathering for what are called synchronized resonance sessions. Using technology, they enter a shared mental state of extremely high empathy so they can literally feel the potential impact of their policies on people. And get this, your representatives wouldn't just be politicians. They'd be joined by consciousness delegates, people selected not for their political gamesmanship, but for their proven wisdom and compassion. The whole goal is to make decisions from a place of deep, shared understanding, not division.
And this is an absolutely critical rule, a built-in fail-safe. To prevent a future where only the wealthy can afford to upgrade their minds, all of this neuroenhancement technology is made open source. It's a fundamental principle. The tools for thought should be a public good, not a private monopoly. This ensures everyone has a seat at the table.
All right, let's move on to the next stop on our tour and get practical. How do you pay the bills in a world that values consciousness above all else? What does an economy built on thought even look like?
The answer is a totally new kind of money. Consciousness credit, or CC. And it's not backed by gold or government promises. No, it's backed by the verified power of your mind. You would literally earn a living by contributing focused, creative, and collaborative thinking to solve society's biggest problems. Your ability to think clearly becomes a measurable, valuable asset.
I mean, let's just let that sink in, because it's the heart of the whole economic model. That moment of insight you have in the shower, that state of deep focus you get into when you're working on something tough. In this economy, that's not just a soft skill, that is the work. Your mental energy is the currency that runs the world.
And that brings us to this number, 10%. It might not look like much, but in this new economy, it is everything. So what on earth does it represent?
This is a policy called mental wealth distribution. Any company that creates these mind-enhancing tools, the divine interface industry, is required to put 10% of all their profits into a public fund. This fund acts as the system's social safety net. It provides free access to these tools for everyone, making sure that the right to expansion isn't just a luxury for the rich.
Okay, for our final stop, let's zoom all the way out. When you change something as fundamental as what we value, how does that change, well, everything else? Our culture, our ethics, even our dreams of exploring the cosmos.
Education would be almost unrecognizable. From childhood, you'd learn neuroliteracy, which is basically the owner's manual for your own brain. Instead of a normal apprenticeship, you might join a flow lab, where you learn a craft by entering a shared state of creative focus with a master. And history class? Forget dusty textbooks. Imagine a class where you could safely simulate the mental state of, say, Katherine Johnson, and actually feel her mathematical genius as she calculated NASA's trajectories.
Of course, with technology this powerful, you'd need some serious ethical guardrails. The first is a simple non-harm principle. No technology can be designed to permanently damage or enslave a person's mind.
The second is about transparency. Any mental state you enter must be reversible. You can always get out. There's always an exit. And watching over it all, a guardian AI, an independent system whose only job is to ensure these powerful tools are never, ever turned into weapons.
So what's the end game here? What is this entire civilization working towards? It's called the Omega Horizon Goal. It's a mission to achieve one full 24-hour period where the entire planet is in a state of synchronized, lucid, creative thought. It's seen as humanity's final exam, the moment we prove we're ready to join a larger cosmic community.
And that brings us to the end of our tour. We've just walked through a blueprint for a future that is both incredibly technologically advanced and deeply spiritual, all based on the untapped power that's sitting right inside our own skulls.
The manifesto's closing words really capture the whole philosophy here. It's arguing for a radical shift in where we look for value, not by digging deeper into the earth for resources, but by exploring the infinite universe that already exists inside every single one of us.
And that leaves us with a profound question, one that's becoming more real every single day. As our own technology gets closer and closer to interfacing with our minds, what do we believe? Is the mind just another resource to be optimized and managed for the collective good? Or is it the last, sacred frontier of individual freedom? That's something to think about.